big sky, big potential. In association with Mills and Reeve, this is Eastern Promise. Achieving more together.
Hello, here's a surprise. The Eastern Promise podcast wasn't due to return from its summer break until next week. But I raced back to the studio to share some extra special news. And I brought along some friends. That's because next week is Cambridge Tech Week, and we're shining a light on the happenings ahead whilst there are still tickets to be had. And so, through the magic of the interweb comes Chris Bruce of the Cambridge Tech Week Steering Committee, Nicola Hancock of the University of East Anglia, Anne Bailey from Form the Future CIC, and Zickie Lim of my good friends at Mills and Reeve. So brace yourself for this official teaser for the fantastic week yet to come on this special edition of Eastern Promise.
Welcome everyone to this teaser, this amuse-bouche, if you will, for Cambridge Tech Week, which is very nearly, don't panic, but it's very nearly upon us. And we've got this stellar panel here today to just give us a rundown of the week ahead and what we're looking forward to and really excited about taking part in and participating. And Chris Bruce, chairman of the steering committee for Cambridge Tech Week, lead off with Monday, if you will, because Monday the 9th of September is the day it all begins.
It certainly does. In fact, I can't believe we're almost here after what feels like 18 months of planning. And it's so exciting. And people must have come back from their summer holidays and thought, what am I going to do in September? We have seen a huge rush in sign-ups. We're almost fully signed up across the week. Monday, Wednesday, deep dives, Thursday, deep dives. Friday, we're now putting in a waiting list. So that leaves us some of our bigger venues on Tuesday and the Cambridge Union on Thursday. We have some seats available, some tickets available. So I'm just really blown over by the response. So I'm really grateful that people are seeing what an exciting week it'll be. So to answer your question, Mike, Monday is being held at the Cambridge Science Park. It's a Welcome to Cambridge Day for folks that are not based in Cambridge, principally. To figure out, meet, the who's who, what's what, the organisations and the people there to meet if you want to work with Cambridge, particularly for international friends and colleagues, but also from others across the region, across the UK. We've got some tech leaders there, some really interesting companies there. We've got an overview from Cambridge and then we've got some really interesting hands-on demo displays at Cambridge Consultants and a number of other companies. They've got some really great lab tours. And then we end up at St John's Innovation Centre for a nice networking session in the evening. So full on day.
That already sounds really exciting.
It is. The international side is really interesting. We've got a delegation of, it's now 47 from Latin America, from 12 countries across Latin America who are going to come as a group. We've got folks coming from Europe, from the US, from Asia. So it's going to be really quite an interesting mix of people there on the Monday. Now, Tuesday, into the centre of Cambridge, we are at a combination of the Guildhall in the morning for a conference setting, some really great speakers and panelists and fireside chats around innovation and investment. And then we pop next door principally for lunch, to the Corn Exchange. That's the incentive. And an exciting exhibition, what we call Innovation Alley. There are now 50 startups there, innovative companies. The last space got taken this morning. So there are 50 plus companies there, of all sorts of deep tech and other tech related companies. And then around the sides, we've got some really interesting investor pitch events that a number of companies are running at the Corn Exchange and the Guildhall that afternoon. And then right at the end of the day, we've got our dinner at the Pembroke College.
Well,
so full-on day.
It is a full-on day, and that is a brilliant point. This is all by way of sort of keeping it in the East of England family, as it were. Which I hope that sounds all right, Nicola. Because this is really sort of hands across the region. Because the UEA are a huge part, principal sponsor, I believe, although do correct me if I'm wrong, of Innovation Alley this year. So, do you want to just talk to us about UEA's involvement?
Yeah, absolutely. We're really delighted, Mike, to be involved and to be headline sponsors for Innovation Alley. So thanks to all involved for the brilliant opportunity afforded. And I think what that really does is enable us to maximise our opportunity to increase the visibility of the innovation that goes on at UEA and across Norwich Research Park. And in fact, Anne and I were having a conversation just before, weren't we, about that really sort of reaching across the region. We held a fantastic launch event, didn't we, at the Sainsbury's Centre? Was it back in May now?
April the 23rd.
April.
Gosh.
And we were so keen and happy to welcome everybody to the brilliant campus. And I think there's a number of ways in which, we're very excited about that illustration of the innovation and impact from our transformative research. What we've done to commercialise, we'll have some of our examples of great commercial activity going on from that research. And it's not just the commercial, it's impacting society, making those global connections and really thinking about what the research can do to transform society. So taking the work of those academics and really showcasing it. And as a part of that, we'll have our relationship managers in Innovation Alley. They'll be really keen to talk to people because, of course, this isn't just about what we're doing and getting it out there into the world, but it's about saying to other innovators, come to us, talk to us, see what we can offer you as a university, use our fantastic world-leading expertise. So this is a really, really exciting and brilliant opportunity to showcase all of that, Mike. And thank you, Chris, for that. We're really looking forward to it.
I want to thank you, Nicola. We had a fantastic event in April at the Research Park at the Sainsbury's Centre for Visual Arts. It was a beautiful afternoon and a really great event. And I'm sure that same sort of positive energy will be coming down across to Cambridge for the whole of the week, but particularly Tuesday. So really appreciate the university sponsoring Innovation Alley and bringing some great companies.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Chris. And I think it's also about our place in that wider Norwich Research Park and that fantastic park that's one of the biggest in Europe, and thinking about research themes across climate, health and creative, how we work with agri-tech, biotech, food tech. We're just so well placed as a research park to bring that to the week, and we're really excited to meet all the innovators. And I think I've got the great honour of presenting some awards that evening, so even more exciting for me. Thank you.
So, Chris, should we kick on to Wednesday and that's sort of the middle of the week,
yeah,
but no hump day this time.
No opportunity to pause for breath because we're straight on to deep dives. And Wednesday, is a deep dive in the hugely important topics of artificial intelligence in the morning and quantum technologies in the afternoon. And this will be held at the Pembroke College Auditorium, which is a transformed United Reformed Church, which is just opposite the actual college. You have to see it to believe it. They've done fantastic things with it. It's a really great thing. There is an organ there if you want to play that. There's a stone pulpit if you want to preach the gospel of quantum. But it's going to be a really great day. We've got some great speakers, and that's the centerpiece for Wednesday. And I think those two technology areas are really important. It finishes up with the great tech debate, and we managed to secure one of the certainly the regions, if not the UK's leading MCs to assist us with the debate. Mr. Rigby.
Do I stand down then and let him go instead? He or she go instead. But you're too kind. You're too kind. I shall Your cheque will be in the post. I'm really, really looking forward to it. It's from my point of view, a fascinating motion, and a array of what do you call them? I suppose speakers to the motion, for and against, who really will take some beating, because it's you got Matt Warman, Stan Boland. I shall flick back in my. You've got Peter Stevens and Tim Pitt. Wow, I mean, you've paid a binder there, Chris. You all have, and no mistake.
What is interesting is the motion, and I can't remember the exact words off the top of my head, but it's along the lines of the government should have a more interventionist approach to science and technology in order for the UK to create world leaders, global winners. Do you agree or disagree? And I think we're going to have quite an interesting debate on that as to whether government should just get out of the way, or government can actually do good things in a more interventionist way. So that'll be the climax of the day on Wednesday.
Fantastic! Well, that's really, I'm really looking forward to that. I can't begin to tell you. So Thursdays, and Zickie, this is where you and Mills and Reeve, you've been there since the beginning because you're also one of the sponsors. But this is where you sort of really you've got an event of your very own. But Chris, talk us through the day first, and then Zickie, do come in and tell us exactly what you'll be up to.
Well, just because we don't like to be idle, and we like to keep things busy. We've got 2 tracks in 2 different venues across Cambridge. So we're back at the Pembroke, the aforementioned United Reformed Church, Pembroke Auditorium, except we've got deep dives on semiconductors followed by climate tech. So we've got a half day on each. And that's at the United Reformed, the Pembroke College. Separately, at the Cambridge Union Debating Society, we have Scale Up Day. All the tech is fantastically important, and we wanted to go into some depth, but it's not just about innovation. What the UK needs is companies that can grow and make an impact on a global basis, really. So how do we help these companies scale and grow? So that's the purpose of the day. We've got some fantastic speakers, folks that have been there and done it, either as entrepreneurs, scaling business leaders, seasoned investors, scale-up experts and commentators and enablers, and then a whole host of really useful interventions, workshops to help scale-up companies in those difficult steps. And we've picked what we thought were the best out of all those that wanted to apply. And obviously, number one was, of course, Mills and Reeve.
Of course.
Thank you. Mills and Reeve have been absolutely thrilled to support Cambridge Tech Week. We did it last year, and we're so thrilled to be able to do it again. And it's just grown, and the number of people and fantastic quality of participants this year is looking really exciting. We're actually all across the week, as you would expect, being key sponsors. So we are attending the Deep Tech VIP dinner. There's myself and Doug McDonald, our head of technology. One of our partners, James Fry, who heads up our life sciences practice, will be participating in the big tech debate as well on the Wednesday evening. And then, as you've already mentioned, I'll be chairing a roundtable discussion for the Scale Up Day in the afternoon. So it's truly been a tricky environment for scale-ups over the last couple of years, the pandemic and the adjustment period that's followed it, geopolitical tensions and uncertainties, inflationary pressures, and supply chain issues. All of those things have really significantly impacted customer and investor confidence, all of which is really critical to growing tech businesses. So it's against this backdrop that we thought it would be really useful to do a real deep dive into some of the key challenges but opportunities that scale-up businesses have, and particularly with a focus on our region. So the key things that we'll be focusing on, not surprisingly, are investment, so availability and accessibility, talent, acquisition and retention, and then also we'll be looking at commercialization. We're fantastic in this region at early stage and startup businesses. The criticism that we often hear is we're not so strong, both as a nation as well as in this region, with scale-ups. And so that's what we would like to address. And I'm really delighted to say that it looks like subscription for our roundtable has closed and is now oversubscribed. So we're really looking forward to some exciting debates.
I know you will. I know you'll have them. And just as an aside, as an Eastern Promise point, you helped me with the event we held in February. And you did this fantastic film on investment that I know went down really well and was really appreciated by everyone who attended. But you mentioned skills and you mentioned talent acquisition, and that seems like an opposite moment to move on to Friday, which I know is in Anne's wheelhouse. But Chris, just give us tee up Anne with Friday, and then we'll talk about that some more.
Yeah, I will do in just a second. I just want to mention that in the last thing on the agenda on Thursday afternoon is the finals of the Scale Up competition, which will be held. The final 3 companies will battle it out, if that's the right word, on the floor of the Cambridge Union Debating Society chamber. And then the people will vote physically. They'll go through, there are 3 lobbies if you think of the middle door. And then the judges will decide based on that and their own thinking. And we will announce the winners at the gala drinks at the Graduate Hotel. Ooh. So that's when Thursday, yes. And then we go into Friday. Now, I just want to say that I was going to say a year ago, but it was May 23. I sat in the first session of the Cambridge Tech Week 23, and I listened to some really great presentations. There was a keynote from Monty Barlow, Mike Short, who was then with the government as Chief Scientific Officer, had a fireside chat, I think, and then we went on to a panel with Quantum with Howard Watson from BT and a few others. And I think the first 4 sessions, I mean, they were really, really good sessions, but the first 4 all mentioned talent. All mentioned talent. And as Mike Short said, it's not just that we need PhDs and very clever chemists and physicians and all the rest of it. We actually need all sorts of people doing all sorts of jobs in the tech industry, not necessarily technical jobs, but in the tech industry. Lab technicians, but everything from every discipline, marketing, sales, HR, legal, you name it. And it got me thinking about what could we do about that next year so that we're not sitting there saying, oh, we haven't really talked about talent. So that's how the conversation started between me and Anne about what can we do together to put that right. So hence Tech Futures Day. Over to you, Anne.
Thanks, Chris, and thanks, Mike, for giving us a chance to talk about this. So you're absolutely right that talent and skills and access to skills is one of the biggest challenges facing businesses today. It really can stop them from growing if they can't get access to the skills they need. And at the same time, we want to make sure that everyone growing up in our region can learn about and prepare to take part in the great careers in the tech industry. So Friday is all about exposing young people to those opportunities, giving them the chance to come and take part in activities with some of the top companies in and around Cambridge, people like ARM, who will be running, what are they doing? They're doing a micro pet activity making Tamagotchi microbits. They will also have Cambridge consultants who will working with them to optimize an algorithm to build an egg holder out of Lego bricks. They're going to have a chance to work with the Center for Computing History to have a go at some retro games. And they're going to,
that's fantastic.
I know. They're going to learn about Pi Wars and work making robots out of Raspberry Pi and entering into competition. So, I mean, anyone who thinks tech can't be fun and creative and interesting is in for a real treat, because they will certainly learn that it is. But we also have Mishkin Dereya coming. And so they are law firm, but they have actually want to show young people how important it is to get tech, how lawyers are involved with tech. Now, Zickie, you would probably know this too, but it is, it's absolutely essential. So they're going to be not only myth busting, what does it mean to work as a lawyer, but also to put them through a case study of all of the legal ramifications for autonomous vehicles. So some really fun stuff for young people. They're going to be 16 to 19-year-olds, sixth form students, college students, We've got about 100 of them coming. But there's also 2 other elements to the day, and I'll just briefly mention. One of them, again, is hosted by you, Mike. So you're coming to welcome everyone to the symposium, where we're going to be looking at 2 topics. One is how is tech and AI in particular influencing and shaping education? But also, how do we attract more diverse talent into tech? Because, we all know there have been some issues and challenges with attracting, for example, girls into computer science or diverse young people from diverse backgrounds to believe that this is an area where they can thrive. So we're going to be exploring all of that with a great range of speakers. And then we're going to close the day with the speed networking session. And this, I think, is going to be probably the most exciting part of the whole week, if I say so myself. We're going to give young people get to go face to face, head to head, not in a combative sense, but in a truly collaborative sense, building their network, learning from others, and getting a chance to really see if this is the path for them. So that's really Tech Futures Day, and Form the Future has been delighted to be working in partnership with Cambridge Tech Week to make this happen. And we're so pleased that this is part of Cambridge Tech Week 24.
Wow, that is one amazing week. I mean, and it's only the second one. This is what blows my mind. This is only the second time you've done it, Chris. I mean, last year was if anyone gets, particularly Cambridge Consultants. I went on the Cambridge Consultants tour last year. Blew my mind. I mean, it's not much to blow, but it blew my mind because it's just amazing. These AI drones, you've got quantum lasers. I mean, I understood all the words individually, but put them all together, that was a different matter. But if anyone gets the chance to go on these tours, do go, because it's amazing stuff. So all my hat is taken off to you, Chris. That is an amazing, all of you. That is an amazing week. You've done us all proud again, and I'm so looking forward to it. But if anyone has any closing thoughts, please, now is your moment.
Well, you said it, me, Mike. There's a whole crew of people at Cambridge Wireless. There's a whole fantastic support we've had from the steering committee, and in fact, we've been really careful to deliver this in a partnership way. So we've been looking for partners that can deliver different aspects, which is why we wanted to partner, for example, with Form the Future. But there've been others. The UK Quantum are delivering that part of the program. The Compound Semiconductor Catapult, to name but a few, and of course partnerships with folks like University of East Anglia. Because the point about this is it's not a Cambridge Wireless event as such. We're shouldering a lot of the work, but it's an event for Cambridge and in fact for the East of England to show what it's about and how it can outreach across the UK and internationally. That's what this is about. So come all, come one, come all. We look forward to seeing you next week. I mean, I have to say to you personally, Chris, you in our conversations have been absolutely clear about that fact for many, many months now. That it was that was the theme, that was the approach you were taking. The whole region coming together in Cambridge and showcasing its talent, if I can use that word again, to the world, and that is something that Eastern Promise can get behind absolutely wholeheartedly. Thank you all so much for joining me at such short notice this afternoon. It is a great pleasure to see you all. Wonderful week ahead of us, and I look forward to seeing you all in these various events throughout the week. Thanks again. Looking forward to it, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Look forward to seeing you all then.
And that's it. My thanks to Nicola Hancock, Zickie Lim, Anne Bailey, and of course, the conductor of the Cambridge Tech Week Symphonia, Mr. Chris Bruce. It's truly wonderful to see the University of East Anglia involved so centrally in Cambridge Tech Week, and I hope that this is only the beginning of a wonderful partnership. I'm really looking forward to taking the reins for the big tech debate, as well as chairing the symposium on Tech Futures Day. Please do join me if you can. I hope to see you out and about. Come by, say hi, and introduce yourself. You can get in touch by email to podcast@easternpromise.org.uk. That's podcast@easternpromise.org.uk. And you can explore Cambridge Tech Week, including booking tickets at cambridgetechweek.com. easterncross.co.uk, though you will have to be very, very quick. We'll start our next 6-episode run next week, talking about commercialisation and the triple chasm approach, with some extra special guests. But until then, bye for now.
To hear other episodes of the Eastern Promise podcast and to find out more about what we do, go to our website at easternpromise.org.uk. Eastern Promise is a Priors-Croft production in association with Mills and Reeve, achieving more together.